The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to the webinar today. My name is Patrick Phillips, and I'm the CEO and founder of American Business Systems. As you saw from the title slide there, we're going to be talking today about our opportunity, our business opportunity that we have getting into medical billing and whether or not it's too good to be true. Now, the reason we came up with this is because we actually have heard this from people. Now, once they've come through our training, they see why we say what we do and why we don't reveal everything that they're going to be getting during that training. But I'm going to try to share with you today a lot of different things that people have brought up to us as to why they think it is too good to be true. So I hope this is useful to all of you. We are recording this as we normally do. So if you don't have a spouse or partner on here that would like to see the recorded version of this, just let your ABS rep know and they'll get that to you. Well, first, let me address, for those of you who haven't been on one of these webinars before, who we are as a company. First of all, let me just describe one problem that you may not have thought of. Physicians actually run two different businesses. One is the clinical side, that is helping patients to get well, and the other is the business side, which is, of course, their payroll, their bookkeeping, their legal stuff, and, of course, the billing. Yes, they have to bill the insurance companies and their patients. And so that's two sides of their business. We've solved that for doctors by taking that right-hand side over. Our licensees, that's what you would become if you signed up with us and got involved in our business, they take over the billing for the doctor, to the insurance companies and to patients. Now, not all those other things I mentioned, just those two items, okay? So we have people all across America, literally from every age bracket, every background, every ethnic group there is, who've gotten into this business and run this business, most of them from their home. Now, we do have a lot of licensees who've opened their own office, they've hired employees, they've built this to a big business. But in most cases, people get into this because they do want something that's more flexible. They can keep it as small as they want, or they can grow it as large as they want. And we've got licensees all across America. I'll show you how you can talk to some of those here in a little bit later. Ours is a cloud-based cloud-based software system, which means you can actually log in on any computer anywhere in the world. In fact, any device, an iPad, a tablet of any kind, an Android, an iPhone, any kind of device that's connected to the internet. If you have an internet connection, you can do the billing from that device. That'd be kind of hard on a small screen like an iPhone, but a lot of people run this from their iPad. We've had people go on vacation, take their laptop out to the beach. Anywhere you can get that Wi-Fi connection, which is most places nowadays, you can have a connection. So the great part of that, folks, is that you can work from anywhere, anytime, because the internet doesn't close, right? 24/7, it's open. And so we have a very device agnostic system, which means it will run on PCs, Macintosh computer, any kind of computer that's out there. Now, if you haven't seen our website, there it is at the top of this screen, absystems.com. Lots of information on that site, folks. You should just read everything you can on there to see if this is of interest to you, if this is your first time to even hear about us. But there's two orange buttons there. If you push one of those orange buttons, we will give you access to what we call our virtual brochure. And as you can see from the little line across the top there, we have whole sections with many slides, videos, testimonials, charts and graphs and things you can download on the opportunity itself, how we help you as a company to get clients. We know that's a big fear of a lot of people, of course. Training is in there, support, all about the technology. You read everything you need to know at no cost to you, of course. Go through that, and it's kind of like getting a bunch of stuff in the mail, except we've got it online there. Ask your ABS rep who sent you the email for this webinar to give you access to that virtual brochure. Well, once you click one of those orange buttons, they'll know, and they'll get a hold of you. For those of you who want to check us out and you'd like to do your due diligence, we understand that. We do have the highest rating possible with the Fort Worth Better Business Bureau. So just type in Fort Worth BBB, and then when you get there, type in our company name, American Business Systems, and you'll see that we have an A+ rating. You're also welcome to visit us. We had somebody down yesterday visiting us, and you can do that. Fly into the DFW airport. Let us know you're coming, of course. We'll arrange to pick you up even there at the airport and take you back. And we'll bring you right to our building here in Keller, Texas. It's just a little suburb of Fort Worth. And we'll give you a tour and let you meet all the people that are here and answer all your questions. And if that gives you a better feel for us as a company, we're glad for you to do that. Now, we do live training workshops here in the Dallas area at a hotel. about every 6 weeks. So this one is coming up next week. It just happens that it's next week, but that fell on next week's date, August 11th through the 15th. If you want in that class, I'm going to tell you towards the end how to get in that class. There are seats left in that class. The room holds about 20, and so we do have seats left. You be sure and get with your ABS rep and find out a little bit more about that too. Also, just so you know who I am a published author. You can find these books on Amazon or any major bookstore. The one on the left is one I wrote when I semi-retired a few years back, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success. And the one on the right, though, is a marketing tool. It's a book called Cash Crunch to Cash Flow, How to Get More Money Faster into Your Professional Practice or Small Business and Plug the Hidden Leaks that are Draining Profits. This is a book, about 176 pages, but you can get this from us as a licensee for, I don't know, $3 a piece, something like that. It's because you can use it as an educational marketing tool, for the doctors that you're approaching. We also have articles regularly in the BC Advantage magazine. This is Billing and Coding magazine. And I'm on the editorial board of this magazine, so you'll be able to get this article. In fact, at the end of today's webinar, I'm going to show you how to get a free copy of this article, How Doctors Can Cut Their Billing Costs by Up to 50%. I'll give you a hint. It's by you doing their billing and getting it out of the office. Okay, well, let's get to the subject for today. Is this medical billing opportunity too good to be true? So I'm going to reach over here to my laptop just for a second so I can get kind of up to speed here on some of the slides. And let's talk about that just for a second, because again, we've gotten this so many times from so many people that we just say, we might as well just address all of these things. You've heard it before. If it sounds too good to be true, you can fill in the blank, right? Well, it probably is, right? Isn't that what most people say? Well, that's true. Unless what we're saying to you is true. And if it is true, then it becomes not just good, but really good. So pay attention today. And if you've got other things that you think ought to be addressed in a webinar like this, type them into the question box there. Tell me why you think it's too good to be true. Or any question, of course, can be addressed today. All right. So let's address specifically, what is it that seems to be too good to be true? What have people told us who've actually invested in our package, come to our training, now they're licensees building their business? What have they said to us in the past? So we kind of came up with a little list here. The first one is they don't believe that all you need to know about this business can be taught in 5 days. Well, let me tell you that is not true. First of all, our live training, and that just happens to be me. We have other trainers that are there too, but in this picture, you can see that it's a small class. This one doesn't look like it has but about a dozen people in it. Depends on the month and when we do the training. But folks, this is intensive type training, not just lectures, not just PowerPoint slides. This is hands-on workshop. We bring in laptops. We actually let you do the billing using our system, connected to the internet, right there in the hotel. It is very, very detailed training. Like I said, we do bring in other trainers. That is Eric Auger. He's our Director of Research and Development. And on the right there, you see a lady standing there. That is Cynthia Anderson. She is one of our licensees. She came through our training about 6 years ago, expressed an interest in helping with the training, and now she comes down, takes a week off from her business because she has people running it. She's got many, many doctors, and she turns that over to them, comes down here for a week, and trains it. She absolutely loves it, and we love her because she does a great job. We also have an attorney who shows up during the class. That's the lady you see there on the right, Judy Brown. There's Eric showing people our cloud-based system there on the iPad as well. Like I said, it's hands-on. We pair you up with other people in the class there, either a partner or spouse that you bring with yourself or somebody else in the class. And we mix that up throughout the whole week so you get to know everybody in the class and actually do some hands-on exercises with those people. Now, we never ask anybody to do anything that would embarrass them. Nobody does anything but volunteer. If you volunteer to do something, we'll let you do it. This guy's making some kind of presentation based on a pricing proposal that they did as a team, as a part of the workshop. So be sure and come down and see for yourself that we really can teach you everything you need to know. Let me tell you why. Because In that class, folks, we don't just address just medical billing. This business is much, much deeper than you would ever imagine because the doctor has several cash flow challenges in their practice. We call this the revenue cycle of a doctor. So everything from receivables, reimbursement, electronic records, payment options, coding, marketing, we do everything for the doctor to increase his revenue. That's what it's all about. And we can teach you that because in those 5 days, we're going to cover a whole lot of information. Here's the manual. It's over 200 pages. And there's all the topics you see listed there, 26 different topics during that week. Folks, it is a powerhouse training. You've never seen anything like this. Everybody who's been through it tells us they've been with corporate training for years and years and have never seen anything like our training. That's because we've been doing this for 20 years. We kind of got this down to a fine art. Here's some of the topics actually listed on this next slide so you can see some of the topics. They have to do, of course, with every aspect of building a business, not just medical billing, but building a profitable medical billing revenue cycle management business. And so you see that we cover a lot of different things there, including, of course, as you see down here, marketing, all kinds of different marketing ideas, all the different products and services that you can offer to the doctor in addition to medical billing, and everything about proposals, pricing. Again, you'll look at the clock at the end of the day and say, that's impossible. This day could not be over. There's not a boring minute during the entire class. We make sure of that. So what do we cover? Well, of course, we're also going to cover our EMRX, which is our electronic medical record system. It's all integrated with our billing system, which we have labeled iClaim. This is where we bring in the laptops, folks, and let you actually log in live to a live system. Well, it's demo data that's in it. It's not real patient data, of course, because we do follow the rules for HIPAA privacy. But this is hands-on. So you literally are doing medical billing the first day of the training. By the end of the first day, you've actually put in a new patient. You've actually done some billing. We give everybody a chance to be hands-on on the laptop, if they want to. And it's a great hands-on, like I said, workshop where you're actually in the system itself. This is a screenshot of one of the screens in our system. And as you can see, it's very user-friendly, very clean, very easy to use. It's designed and programmed, by the way, for the iPad. That's right. When we were building this system, our programmers were told, make it fit and look like it deserves to be on the Apple iPad. Now, it also works, of course, on any tablet that runs under Windows or Android or anything else. But I'm just showing you this to let you know that the doctors absolutely love that iPad. And so they can use it because you can see the buttons are made for an adult finger to actually tap. That's all they do is just tap things on the screen, and it does everything for them behind the scenes. All right, so the first item was, can everything be learned in 5 days? Well, guys, it is a part of your training, but I'm going to show you another part of your training as well here in just a moment. Let's, though, cover this point, if it's still too good to be true, and that is that no billing or coding background or training is necessary to run this business. Now, this is hard for people to understand because if you've been on the internet looking at medical billing, you've run across all kinds of courses and books and videos and college courses even that you can go to locally that teach you about medical billing, and they always throw in medical billing and coding as if they go together. Well, the coding is very important. I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But back in 1987, when my wife, in this picture here, but this is 1987, when me and my wife and my 2 children, she started doing medical billing out of our home. And folks, she didn't know anything about coding and certainly didn't know anything about medical billing. We started from scratch, not knowing a thing. It just happens that a friend of ours was in the durable medical equipment company business, and he wanted her to do the billing. She said, well, I don't know what a medical claim looks like. He said, well, come to my office, I'll show you. Folks, within 2-3 days, she was doing his billing for him. It's not rocket science. Well, I should have said brain surgery. It's not brain surgery. But the point is that she didn't have any background or training. So how is that possible that we started making a 6-figure income working out of our home? It's because of the way our system is set up and built. And it's because we have a couple of services that you can offer to doctors called Audit Guard and CodeWrite, where we have over 100 certified medical coders that are available to you as a licensee. So any questions you have about coding can be answered by our coders. The doctor is the one who gives you the codes, by the way, on his super bill, what they call a day sheet. You probably got one of those when you check out at the doctor. But those codes is what you're actually putting into our system. And the doctor is the one that has already come up with them. If they have questions about them, again, our coders can help. Folks, we've got experts. We've got people on our advisory board here, as you see here on the screen. We have a doctor, Sally Combest, who's our senior medical advisor. We have Terrence Patterson, who has a degree in hospital administration as our marketing consultant. And we have Jeanette Weiler, who is a certified professional coder, one of them. So these are the people that we point you to as part of your support with ABS. So do you have to know anything about coding? No. You know why? Because the codes are all built into our system. That's right. You'll see that here in just a second. All right, is it still too good to be true? Well, then let's look at the next point here. We covered all you need to know taught in 5 days, no billing, coding background, or training. What about this one? Bill for less cost than the doctor in-house. Now, you know that doctors are either doing it themselves with their own staff and their own software, right? Or they've already outsourced it to a third-party billing company. Now let me show you what that really costs the doctor, though, to keep it in-house with his own staff. Now, here's a doctor that actually was featured in U.S. News Magazine, Dr. Vern Cherenwatenko. I'm sure I messed that up. And he says in this article, to get paid by the insurance company between me and my staff, the computer system, the ongoing support, and other administrative overhead, it cost me about $20 a claim. This was I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago that he said that. So I'm sure it's more than that now. $20 per claim. Now, folks, if you've done any research on this, you know that most medical billing companies charge a percentage of the money that's collected. Okay? So if you're collecting a certain amount, let's say for one doctor's claim is $150, and you're charging, let's say, 7% of that. I don't know what that is, but it's not much. It's certainly not $20, is it? So that's why you can save the doctor a lot of money. In fact, here's a quote from the New England Journal of Medicine that says, market analysts estimate that 24 cents out of every dollar are wasted on the administrative and billing expenses. 24 cents, that's a quarter out of every dollar that the doctor brings in. Why? Because it is more expensive than the doctor realizes. Let me prove that to you. Look, here's the annual cost for physician billing. An average doctor, let's say, is doing 400 claims per month. So in a year's time, that's times 12. I'm even using a low number here now, guys. $100 a claim, okay? Average of $100 a claim. At even a low 6%, you're going to just charge that doctor only, as you can see over there, $28,800 for the whole year to do his billing. Now, let's see what it would take him to do it himself in his own staff. First of all, assuming he only has 1.5 people doing the billing, at $15 an hour, that's $46,800 right there. You've already saved him money, haven't you? But wait a minute, there's payroll taxes, workers' comp insurance, errors and omission insurance, training costs, leave coverage, employee benefits package, hardware, software, and IT support. Yes, folks, all of that has to be counted in the cost of what it really costs a doctor to do their billing. Hey, if you ask a doctor, what do you think it costs you per claim to do your billing, he probably wouldn't have a clue. If he did, it would be something low, I don't know, $3 or $4 a claim. No, it's much, much higher than that. And we can prove that to him because we do a practice analysis, you will, with the doctor or the office manager, that proves to them from their own numbers that you can save them money. In this particular case, look at this. The bottom line is that a doctor doing it in-house is going to spend about $65,100. You can do it for the doctor for that $28,800 that you see right there. That's a huge saving, folks. It's 48% less expensive for the doctor to outsource it to you. That's a saving of $36,300, not just this year, but every year from now on for the doctor. Folks, you could cut that in half, and it would be a huge savings. Half of that's $18,000. That's a down payment on a nice car. Yeah, or maybe a nice vacation for the doctor, right? Folks, doctors are struggling right now. You may think that they all make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. No, that's not true. The average physician in America only makes about $160,000, $170,000 a year. That's it. It's gone way down from what it used to be because of all the overhead costs and the cuts in Medicare. So they need help. That's why you need to be out there helping them. In fact, we found a study here done by, you can see that at the bottom of the screen, Medical Group Management Association survey. This was just done last year. Here it is. Let me go back. For medical practices that switched from in-house billing to a medical billing company, that's you, right? You're going to start your own medical billing company. They say that 73% of those doctors saw a reduction in their accounts receivables. 73%. And 73% realized higher collections from the bad debt that's out there. 59% decreased the volume of their lost or denied claims. 59% enjoyed significantly better reporting and practice performance insights. Now, folks, let this sink in. Yes, doctors can do this themselves, but why would they with these kind of statistics? It doesn't make sense to do it in-house. There's a lot of things they don't do in-house. They don't do their own bookkeeping. Hopefully they outsource that to a bookkeeper or an accountant, CPA. They don't do their own legal matters. They don't wash their own windows. Why? Because it's cheaper to outsource it. And then last but not least there, 46% achieve higher staff productivity. So if you're worried that you're going to go into a doctor, take over their billing that they're doing now themselves, and put somebody out of a job, that's not necessarily true. What happens is we reallocate the time for those staff members to help the doctor do what the doctor does best. His core competency is what? Helping patients get well. So if his staff helps him see more patients and focuses more on those patients to get them well, it's a win-win for everybody. They save money and the doctor gets to see more patients. More patients mean more claims. That's more money for you. It's more money for the doctor. Again, folks, it's a win-win situation for everybody. All right. Is it still too good to be true? Well, then let's look at this reason why people think it's too good to be true. We tell them no sales experience needed. That's right. You heard me right. Everybody's worried about the sales aspect of this. Folks, I tell people when they come to the training, if you are a salesperson or have a background in sales or marketing, you have to rethink your whole view of what this business is all about. Because folks, if you go in and try to sell the doctor anything, they've heard it all. They don't want it. I can tell you right now. But if you do what we've learned over the last 20 years, to approach the doctor, to get past the gatekeeper if you need to approach them and educate them the way we teach you to do. And if you teach them what they need to know, they'll call you. You don't have to call them. Now, we do teach you to do follow-up, as every good company should do with their prospects. And we teach you how to get those prospects to call you and contact you and say, look, tell me more. How do we do that? Well, first of all, we do use email. If you're wondering, there is hundreds of email templates that are available out there that we give you access to and show you how to use those to build your business. But we also show you how to do trade shows and conventions. There's all kinds of trade shows being held in your city this week that you probably didn't know about. And they don't have to be medical conventions or trade shows, by the way. They can be any kind, because doctors, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, doctors are human beings. And human beings go to all kinds of things. Garden shows, auto shows, boat shows, right. And you can have a booth there that says, medical billing, we're specialists, we can help you. And believe me, the doctors will stop and say, here's my card, call me. We had that happen right here in Dallas. 5 doctors during a 2-day trade show, stopped and said they needed help. Okay, the way we do that, of course, is we've already designed the trade show displays. You see them pictured here. There's a large one, and I don't think we show the here, but we also have a desktop one for smaller conventions and trade shows. And folks, you can borrow that from us and hold those for yourself. These things cost $4,000 or $5,000 a piece. That's all the reason. One of the reasons you don't have to be a salesman is because if you can stand there and wait for people to approach your booth and ask you some questions, it works. All I can say is licensees have told us that they do get clients from that. Now, we also teach you how to do educational events. That is, we teach you to do what are called seminars, which are kind of like what you see here in this picture, and lunch and learns, which is a smaller crowd, usually just the office staff. Yeah, and we'll show you the secrets of getting those set up letting you come in. I'll give you a hint. They all like to eat. They like food. And so if you bring them lunch or breakfast, sometimes you can get in and sit there with them while they're eating 15, 20 minutes and tell them enough to get them interested in doing that practice analysis that I told you about. It doesn't cost them anything. You do that for absolutely free. And you do the practice analysis and then walk out and come back to your office and we'll show you how to do the proposal and the pricing for that. So these educational events are terrific. We've got all the materials already available for you to do those events. Slideshows and handouts and that kind of thing. Getting through the door to the doctor, getting through the doctor. You know, I mentioned earlier, sometimes there's a gatekeeper, right? The office manager usually there at the front desk. And if she is involved in the billing, she may be a barrier to you getting to the doctor. We're going to show you how to use my book and some other marketing materials to get through past the gatekeeper directly to the doctor's desk. We'll bypass her if we need to. Now, there's times that you bring that person on your team as well. So we'll show you how to do that as well. We also have things like that article that I told you that you could get here towards the end. I'll show you how to get that. This is a great marketing tool. It's right out of a magazine. It gives you a third-party credibility. How doctors can cut their billing costs by up to 50%. A great marketing piece. And there's many, many others besides that. Look, here's some of them right here. We've had these professionally designed. Somebody asked me in my office yesterday, the couple that visited, well, why is this so expensive? $24,990. I said, expensive? If you just tried to design and print and develop our books, DVDs, and marketing flyers and postcards, it's been way more than $24,990 and a lot of time. Oh, sorry, that's the big mistake that I always make, and that's to not turn off my cell phone during a webinar. Okay, so anyway, we teach you to do educational marketing. Now that means that with these tools I'm showing you, you can actually go to the doctor and educate him and his staff on the advantages. Sometimes maybe they're not interested in the billing at all. That's why we have these other services that you see here. You can talk to them about one of them here called Quick Collect and Choice Pay, and you'll give them options for collecting money from their patients, not the insurance billing, but the patient side. There's all kinds of ways to do that. And, of course, we also have references. Now, that's a big question. People say, oh, this sounds too good to be true because I'm not a salesperson, and where do we get references? We have those references for you. On this DVD, for example, that we produced, we have 5 doctors that actually say why they've outsourced their billing. Now, they don't say the name of the licensee or their company or anything. These are just real doctors that volunteered to be on camera to tell why they love outsourcing their billing. So those doctor testimonials and references are invaluable to you. You'll see how we get those to you once we talk about the live demos here in just a moment. Of course, we teach you to do promotional marketing. There's all kinds of items out there that tie in with medical and that you can use for your trade shows, that you can use just to give away. Yes, $100,000 is one of the things we actually teach people to go in there to the office and hand to the staff to get their attention. Any kind of candy will get their attention, but chocolate especially. We'll also teach you how to connect in your community. Now, folks, this is very easy to do once you know the secrets that we've learned in doing this ourselves. We know exactly how and what to have you say when you go to these community meetings like chambers of commerce, business networking groups all over your city. We'll tell you exactly what to do to set up one-on-one meetings with people and set up what we call strategic partners. That's right. A lot of our licensees have used this, which doesn't cost you hardly anything unless you pay a membership fee of some kind to that organization. But you can go to chambers of commerce for nothing and connect with these strategic partners who will give you the referrals. Yes, you give them a stack of your business cards and they carry those with them. And of course, you're going to help them get business as well. And we'll show you how to connect and what kind of contacts to have and how to build your networking group. I mentioned earlier that we have direct mail. We have a whole series of postcards, for example, that's an automated system. Now, these are real postcards and greeting cards that go in the mail. Yes, the United States Postal Service, people still use that. And we send this out automatically for you. You do nothing. You don't stuff envelopes. You don't even print the cards. This is all done through our online automated direct mail system. You're going to love this. We have over 5,000 pre-designed greeting cards and postcards in this system that you literally can personalize with the name of the person you're sending it to on the inside. You can change the text any way you want to, add your own pictures to these, and be very specific in what you're targeting. So we'll teach you how to use that system as well. This is all covered, of course, in our live training workshop. You also get a professional website that, folks, if you went out right now and tried to build your own website, either in time or money, you'd spend $2,000, $3,000 at least if it's a decent site. Okay, we've got the designs already built for you, hundreds of combinations of these templates that will already give you the website that you need so you can immediately get into business and not worry about that. Now, can you build your own? Of course. You can add to this one. You can increase it any way you want to. But we've got all of our services already on this website with all the photos and descriptions, everything you need to get started. Plus, the contact button, of course, sends you an email for people who do find your website. We'll show you how to set up the domain and all of that during the live training workshop. Now, I mentioned earlier that we don't really talk about the sales aspect because, as I mentioned earlier, those people in traditional sales don't use what we call the consultant approach. I mentioned earlier the practice analysis. Well, here it is right here on your screen. It's a series of questions that we've come up with over the years as to what you need to know from the office manager or the doctor in some cases to come back and prepare your proposal and your pricing. The proposal is already templated for you. All you do is go in and fill in the blanks, take out the services that you don't want to offer, and fill in the pricing and give them agreement. And folks, it's all done for you already. And as part of our support, we will review these for you. Our support team will review these for you and make suggestions. They're only suggestions, right? It's your business. You can do whatever you want to. But we'll make suggestions as to whether the pricing seems right. We don't want you to leave business on the table, right? We want you to make as much as you can, but we don't want to overprice you either because you might not get the business at all. But this is all included as a part of our support, folks. They go into a nice, beautiful cardboard folder that opens up there, and as you can see, you can put your proposal in a little pocket actually on that right-hand side, and your business card, of course. It's all done very generically. You can change anything on any of these templates. They're just documents that you can change any way you want to. All right, what if you don't want to do any kind of marketing even? None of the stuff I've talked about right now, that doesn't even appeal to you. Well, then we're going to show you our sales rep hiring and training program. That's right. We've developed a way to find sales reps who will work on commission only. Did you hear that? That's right. You don't have to put out any money up front for these people. There are people out there, believe it or not, who love to go out and sell, right? So why not just hire those people to go out and do all your marketing for you? We'll show you how to find those people, hire them, train them. We've got agreements already made up for them. We'll show you how to pay them and how to motivate them to continue bringing you as much business as you possibly want. Many, many licensees that we have that you can talk to as references will tell you that this does work and that they've used sales reps to get all the business they need. All right, still too good to be true? Well, then let's go on to the next point here. Wait, first, I'm going to get in on the questions that are coming up here. Why have trainees and not employees? Jeff, I think you're talking about our licensees maybe. I'm not sure. But our licensees are people who've invested in our business and have shown that they want to have their own business. So yes, you can hire employees if you want to, or independent contractors if you want to. But that licensee term is you, not the people that you'd hire. Jeff also says, well, what if we don't have $25,000? Well, Jeff, there are ways that we can help you with the funding. Be sure and get back with your ABS rep. We don't have time on a webinar like this to go into all the details, but we have ways that we can help you with that. So be sure and get with them. Does the website and direct mailers cost extra? No, Todd, thanks for asking that question. I haven't made that clear because I talk too fast probably, but I have a lot to cover here and we're 35 minutes into the webinar. So the answer is no. Everything that I've shown you so far, that's included in that $25,000 licensing fee. So if you're wondering, everything you just saw would cost you, maybe $250,000 to develop on your own. So that's why our investment is decent. Now, folks, we do set that investment, by the way, where it's set, because we want people who are serious about this business. not somebody who just wants to start, a network marketing business of some kind or sell something over the web. There are other businesses, of course, that are less expensive, but there's franchises that are a whole lot more expensive than ours as a business opportunity package. The point is, we want people who are serious. So if I set the price at $10, would that be a fair price? You'd probably come to our training, right? You'd figure out a way to come. I wouldn't have room in a hotel to hold all the people, right? So we've just found that at a certain level, we get the professional, serious business people who want to be in their own business. Okay, let's see. I have a few more here. And, Meyer says, can I start this business if I'm in a different country? You certainly can, but you can only do billing for American doctors, because there's a standard billing form that's used in the United States called the CMS 1500 form. It's just one page that the government came up with, and if you can fill out that page, you can send a claim. That's only used in the United States, not elsewhere. So, but you can do the billing for doctors in the United States from anywhere in the world, of course. Here's a question from Rob I'm going to address here in just a moment. Separate from the franchise fee, he means our licensing fee. What are the ongoing costs? All right, so let me cover this next one first. Some people say it's too good to be true because, I might not have all the answers to all the questions that people are going to ask me. Well, folks, that's why I mentioned earlier, our staff actually does demos for you. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that we will get on the phone, on the computer, using this type of technology we're using here from GoToWebinar, and actually show a demo to your doctor of our cloud-based system. Why do they want to see that? Because they want to know that it's leading edge. They want to ask questions about it. Even though they're going to outsource the billing to you, they want to know you're using the latest and greatest. And during that demo, we're going to show them ways that we're going to increase their revenue that will blow their mind. Believe me, I've sat in on some of these demos. The one thing we hear most from the doctors throughout the whole hour demo is, wow, or I did not know that could be done. So you'll see that we do those for you. And yes, they cost you nothing extra, folks. This is all a part of that one-time, lifetime licensing fee of $25,000. Excuse me. So here's how it works. You get from the doctor a set time and day that they can spend 45 minutes to an hour to see a demo. We, through a web page that you go to, you actually fill that out, and we set that up with you as the licensee so that we're going to do that demo for the doctor. Now, you can be on there as well, just like I've got a whole bunch of people on this webinar today. You could be listening and watching as the licensee who got with the doctor. So what you do is you tell the doctor, Dr. Jones, would you like to see our system? I can show you why I can increase your revenue by 30%. And when they say, well, yes, you say, all right, let me get my IT people or my technical folks or my support people, and I'll set up a demo. See how much bigger you seem? Because we're doing that for you. Unlimited number of these folks. And why is that? Because the way we set up the company is that we make money from our technology partners on the back end. So do we want you to have lots of clients? Yes. And we're closing about 50% of these demos right now. So it's a wonderful way. And guess who answers all the questions from the doctor? We do. Now, we never position ourselves as anything other than a part of your company, a part of your staff, your team. All right. So you don't have to worry about that. We want you to sign up as many doctors as possible because we make money on every one of those claims that go through. So yes, there you are. You and your spouse or partner are sitting there watching and listening to the demo that our folks are doing for the doctor. That's how it works. I'm sorry I can't go into more detail. I know that's sometimes confusing the first time people hear that. But folks, this alone is worth more than $25,000. I can assure you. And some of our licensees will tell you that. So not only do we have people can answer questions for you on the demos, but we have over 100 professional support personnel. We and our technology partners are determined to support you in your business because, again, it's a win-win for us. We make money as well. We've set it up so that we're actually making money of a very claim that goes to the system. So that's why you don't have to worry about being able to have the answers to all the questions. We have the answers. They can't ask you any question that we don't have the answer to. All right. So there, we've covered a lot of stuff there, right? All you need to know, taught in 5 days, no billing, coding background or training. bill for less cost than the doctor in-house, no sales experience needed, don't have all the answers. I hope I've addressed all those. Is it still too good to be true? Well, then let me go ask a question or two from people here, okay? Anthony says, travel and hotel costs, are they covered for the training? No, Anthony, that's our fee. The license fee is $25,000. Now, you're going to spend approximately another $700 for the whole week at our hotel because we got a great rate here at the Marriott. You'll also spend whatever it is that takes you to get here. You can drive, you can fly, you can ride a horse, you can walk, depends on how close you are, right? But you do have your travel cost involved in it. So we tell people, figure in another $1,000 to $1,200 probably for your travel cost. That's a part of your cost there. Okay, so I have some more points. Yes, I have time left here and still are answering questions. Let's see. Here's Maurer says, yes, I'm a medical biller for the past 9 years. Maurer, do you realize that you are one of many, many, many people who've already started a medical billing business or been in medical billing, and they buy our license to come and find out all of our secrets and have the support network that we have. We are the nation's largest network of independent medical billing companies that are out there. So it's a good thing to be a part of. Plus, we'll teach you how to get more clients than you could ever handle. Okay, let's see, with the onset of HMOs in California, this is from NAMA, and I suspect nationwide, are there really that many private practices, or can you use this for smaller hospitals or nursing homes? Now, look, there's two kinds of billing that are out there. Institutional billing is the hospitals that are out there. Professional billing is the doctors. And folks, not only are there many, many private practices that are out there, but there are a lot of doctors who've been a part of hospitals even. And they decided that they wanted to get back into private practice because they just become an employee, their income is limited, and there's all the disadvantages of working for somebody else, hours and so forth. So anyway, let's talk about this one. Lower rejection rate from payers. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, first, let me give you this quote from the American Academy of Professional Coders. Industry experts have found that the average number of rejected claims for a medical practice averages around 34%. Now, think about this. It means for every claim that a doctor submits to the insurance companies, a third of them are rejected on first submission. Now, why are they rejected? Well, there's all kinds of, it's usually human error. It's something left out or that's wrong. But there's all kinds of reasons why those claims can be rejected. Now, some are rejected because the insurance really doesn't cover that particular procedure. So there is always a percentage that might be rejected. So let me just show you. Well, here's another article similar to this. Health insurance companies process 1 in 5 claims wrong. That's right. Now, I've taken out of that this quote because I want you to read this. This is from the American Medical Association. They come out with a report stating that 1 in 5 medical claims submitted to health insurance companies are processed inaccurately, which leaves physicians and other healthcare providers receiving lower or no reimbursements for the services provided. So it's not us saying this. This 20% here that the American Medical Association is saying is typical that's out there. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with an insurance claim. I mean, it's got lots of codes, as I mentioned earlier. We'll talk about those here in a moment. And there's just lots of stuff that has to be done right. If a biller inside of a doctor's office hasn't been trained properly, they're not going to collect for the doctor what the doctor could collect from a third-party billing company who knows what they're doing and who does the billing, not just for one doctor, but for a number of doctors. You see the difference? And you can be that person, folks. Our system has everything already built into it, all the codes. Look, if a code's not right, it's going to be rejected. And then sometimes when things are rejected in a doctor's office, they're too busy to figure out what's wrong and resubmit it. So what do? They think, okay, well, I guess the doctor will just have to write this off. And at the end of the year, the doctors do write off a lot of money that they don't need to. We could be collecting that for them. So our system does have all the codes built in, as you can see from this screenshot here. It's also ICD-10 ready. Now, I'll talk about those codes here in just a minute. That'll make more sense but for those of you who are wondering, it is ICD-10 ready. Okay. Oh, also, you can give access to the doctor and or his staff to parts of our system, like the reporting. The doctor himself, for example, you can give so he could see the actual status of his claims and his payments in real time. That's right. Since it's cloud-based, You could be doing billing today, submitting claims, and then the doctor logs in tonight at home on his iPad and he sees the actual real-time status of all of his claims. Okay, still too good to be true? Then let me talk about something else here, as soon as I get here. Let's see, we just talked about the lower rejection rate. Lifetime access to support and resources. Now, this one's hard for people to grasp. What other company do you know of that sells any business opportunity that gives you lifetime access to support? One of the reasons we can do that, folks, is because of the way we model the company is we do make money from our technology partners that pay us on the services that you offer to the doctors. So we're getting money on the back end. Of course, we can support you as long as you need support. We have a special website that you'll get a login and password to that looks like this. This is our licensee support website that has tons of resources, training, videos. This is where you can get all the support you need 24/7, and you can call our toll-free numbers you see there on the screen from 9 to 5 Central Time. You also can email us for support, and yes, we have a live online chat for people who like to do their support that way. Folks, again, I don't know of any company in America who has unlimited support. There are companies who do something similar to what we do, but they don't have ongoing live support, lifetime support for people without any charges whatsoever. We also have set up what we call a licensee forum. Now, if you've never been on a forum, it's kind of like a chat room, but it's got categories of topics that you might want to know about. And you can go in and type questions in and get answers from other licensees. That's right. All of our licensees have access to the licensee forum, so you can actually get support from our network of licensees all over the coast, all over the place. Now, ongoing training. This is very important, folks, because some people don't realize that there are new things that happen in this industry. You need to keep up with what's going on. So we actually have webinars on a regular basis. I'm sorry, this one's about one-on-one success coaching. I forgot about this. We just introduced this a little while back. But folks, for people who want some hand-holding and some personalized coaching, we actually utilize conference calls and go-to meetings where you can actually see one another if you want to, and use those to actually set up sessions for you. Guess who actually does this coaching? Our staff, of course, in some cases, and we pay other licensees who have volunteered to be coaches. And we know that they've built a successful business and know what they're talking about. They will guide you and hand-hold you. So when people tell me, Patrick, I'm afraid that what if I don't get a client? Well, folks, that's impossible if you have somebody coaching you to the point where you get that first client. And really, that's all you ever need to get. Believe me, I've had licensees tell me, all I did was do what you told us in the training to get the first client, and the business built itself. You've probably guessed how that happens, don't you? That's right. If you do a good job for a doctor or an office manager, they know others in the medical field, and that's where you'll get your referrals. Okay, so is it still too good to be true? Then let me go over here and see what some other questions are here. Let's see. Jeff says, what state is your business licensed in and what is your license number? Jeff, we don't have a license of any kind. You don't have to have a license of any kind to be a medical biller. You can be a medical biller for any doctor anywhere in the United States. We don't have territories, so you can literally go anywhere you want to. Again, if you have questions about that, ask your ABS rep a little bit more. Typically, let's see, this is per tap, says typically who pays the monthly software fees to use iClaim and EMRX, the licensee or the physician's office? Great question. You probably guessed there is a monthly access fee to utilize the system. The doctor pays that, not you. You roll that into what you're charging the doctor. Sometimes licensees do that. It's not that much, a couple $100 a month or so to get access to the billing system, for example. But you can roll that right into your percentage. Instead of charging 7%, charge 7.25%. So you can do it any way you want to. Some licensees bill that out to the doctor as a separate charge. They understand that there's an access fee if you're giving them access to the system. Let's see. Let me grab another question here. Can you explain, this is from Anthony, can you explain in further detail how the recurring revenue works for ABS? Yes, Anthony. That's very simple. I hope I addressed that before you type this in, I think. But anyway, it was that we get revenue from our technology partners. So those monthly fees that we just talked about that the doctor's paying, we get a portion of that. That's our back end. You never send ABS another dime. Never. We haven't done that in 20 years. We've never asked for it. So that kind of covers, that kind of applies to this point here, doesn't it? Because we do have people say, well, look, it sounds too good to be true that there's no ongoing costs or royalties. Every one of our services that are offered through you to the doctors, we make money on. So again, it's a win-win for everybody, and you never have to pay us a dime. All you do is focus working out of your home in doing the billing for the doctors, and let us handle all the support on the back end, all the live demos for you, and don't ever worry about sending us another penny because of the way we've got that set up. Okay, hope that answered that question. Now, is that still too good to be true? Then let's look at the next point people bring up. Increased revenue for medical practices. In other words, we can actually not only save the doctor money by taking the billing away from his staff, but increase his revenue. Now, here's how we prove that. One of the tools we give you is this spreadsheet that we've built, that by asking those questions on the practice analysis we mentioned earlier, filling in this spreadsheet, you can show the doctor exactly what his costs are right now and what kind of revenue he's getting. Then you plug in behind the scenes your own money percentage that you're going to charge the doctor. In this case, I think you can't see it. It's hidden here on the report that prints out for the doctor, but it's, I don't know, maybe 6% of this. And you can actually increase, this is the projected, let me increase that here on the screen, zoom in so you can see this. That increases his revenue by 40% in this particular case. He gets another $11,578 a month into his practice. And yes, that turns out to be $138,000 a year. Folks, if you're wondering why doctors will outsource their billing to you, I hope this point at least addresses that for you. It's bottom line. The bottom line is the bottom line. A doctor is a businessman to some degree, even though they're really not very good ones, but they do understand the bottom line. And you show them that you can get them this kind of money, and I've had doctors say, if you can give me half of that, where do I sign? And how quickly can you get started? And folks, that's just not from us saying that. We've got an actual case study here from one of our licensees that started out with a doctor doing 7,200 claims a year at $125 a piece, bringing in about almost $1 million a year. Their rejection rate was so high, and ours is so low, less than 2%, that's what our rejection rate runs, that we increased their revenue by $500,000 a year. Now, you think that doctor didn't take that licensee to a nice steak restaurant. They become very indebted to you, in fact. We've had licensees driving a Volkswagen Beetle that turns it in for a Mercedes within a year. That's how much help we can give the doctors, folks. So why will they do outsourcing to you? It's because you can increase their revenue. Still good to be true? Too good to be true? Then let's talk about this last point, and that is the 2014 window of opportunity. Actually, it extends into next year, but I just called it the 2014 window. What am I talking about? Well, you've probably heard of electronic medical records. This started a couple years back when doctors were being pushed towards using electronic medical record systems. No paper, they're trying to get away from that completely. So we have one, of course, built into our system that you can offer to the doctor that they can use on their iPad called EMRX. Now, the reason I bring this up is because there is a timeline that can actually get money for the doctor from the government. That's right. The government is giving incentives to the doctor to get on electronic medical records, or in this case, EHR, electronic health records, about the same thing. And it works like this. In 2014, they can get up to $12,000. In 2015, it drops $8,000, and in 2016, $4,000. Well, that's a total of $24,000 that they can get just for getting involved in an EMR. If they're not, if they already have one, we can show you how to switch them over to ours. In any case, whatever you charge as your own business owner, right, for a setup fee to the doctor, anything less than $24,000 should be a bargain to the doctor. What do you think? Yes, yes. Okay. Now, there's a very important date I'm putting on the screen here. See it? It's October 1st of 2015. Why is that important? Those of you who know, shh, don't say it out loud. You know that it has to do with those codes. Now, these ICD, which is the International Classification of Diseases that the World Health Organization comes up with, those are switching from version 9, as you can see, to version 10. That comes out October 1st. Well, it doesn't come out. It means doctors have to switch to it. They have to start using the ICD-10 codes. And folks, there's 10 times as many codes as there are in the ICD-9 codes. So the doctors are having to get ready for this. I'm talking about if you took it and printed them all in a book, it's a huge book. This is an ICD-9 book, I think. The 10 will be 10 times bigger than this book. Yeah. So again, you know what the codes are. You've probably seen them at some point in your life. At least you know that everything that's wrong with the human body and everything that can be done to fix the human body is a code, usually a 4 or 5 digit number. These are just the codes here for chiropractic. Yeah, and folks, there are dozens of specialties that you can do the billing for. So how do you deal with all that? Well, first of all, I told you earlier, the doctor's office is the one that's going to provide you those codes on their super bill each day. So we'll show you how you get all that information paperlessly from the doctor's office. But just trust me that you don't have to know the codes. Why? Again, because we have the codes built in. Well, folks, we're going to wrap up here at 7 minutes till, and I think I see a couple more questions here coming in. I want to talk about one last thing on this particular webinar because we've had people ask us a question about our Better Business Bureau review. Now, I actually went to the Fort Worth Better Business Bureau website. I typed in our company name up here in the search box, and this is exactly what came up today. I captured this screenshot. Now, you'll notice that one of the things it says is this business is not BBB accredited. So how do we have the highest rating they can possibly have? Let me show you down here at the bottom. You see down here at the bottom that it talks about BBB accreditation. That sounds like, well, why wouldn't ABS be accredited? Here's why. Let me zoom in on that. Okay, this is a little bit of zoom in. I think I have one more slide here that kind of zooms in really big on that one paragraph. Okay, this business is not BBB accredited. Businesses are under no obligation to seek BBB accreditation, and some businesses are not accredited because they've not sought the BBB accreditation. We as a company have not sought that, folks, because we didn't need it. Look, you can't get a better rating. Even an accredited business can't get a better rating than A+. It means we are answering any complaint that comes to the Better Business Bureau from anybody. You can't get that rating any other way but just doing what you say you're going to do. And so you don't stay in business in today's world, folks, believe me. You can search the internet and you won't find anybody who has a better rating than A+ there. Okay, is it still too good to be true? Well, then let me show you this quote from Medical Economics magazine. Now, this just came out last year, and it had an article in it that had this quote that I just have to show you. You'll think that I wrote this myself. They say, at no time in medical history has there been a greater need for expertise, technology, compliance assistance. In other words, all the things that you as an ABS licensee will be able to provide to the doctor. And then they go on to say there is simply no entity in existence positioned to meet these needs better than the third-party medical billing companies. Folks, that's powerful. This magazine is sent to doctors. It's all about their money, their revenue cycle, their cash flow. And this magazine has said there is nobody better positioned than the third-party medical billing companies. That's what you'll be establishing as an ABS licensee. They go on to say the third-party medical billing industry can not only be an essential cog for the doctor, but can also ensure that healthcare providers have the time and resources to concentrate on their real priority, providing healthcare to our aging population. That's where the doctor should be focused, not on the billing. All right, well, let's see. I'm going to switch back here to still good to be true, because if you still think it's too good to be true, even after my webinar today and all those points I covered, then ask our licensees. That's simple. I could be telling you anything, right? But we've got dozens of licensees who've volunteered to take phone calls from people like you who are thinking about getting into the same business. And you ask your ABS rep, and they'll give you some names and phone numbers that you can call of real people all across the country that will tell you that this is for real. So, folks, as far as I know, we've got the only real solution out there in this field. We not only have a great billing system, but we have the electronic medical record system. We have the clearinghouse that's built into our system. We don't send it to a third-party clearinghouse. And we have the people behind us. So with iClaim and EMRX and being through our clearinghouse, being an accredited clearinghouse, and having the right people to back you up for support, how could you fail? You cannot fail in this business unless you do one thing. If you give up at any point, of course you failed, right? Okay, so let me tell you how to get that article that I promised you. This is a great one to read if you're still wondering if doctors can really cut their billing costs. I wrote it, and so I know it's good. Call your ABS rep and just ask them. They'll send that to you by email. All right, our next training is next week. If for some reason you can't get here next week, folks, I know if this is the first time on a webinar, of course you're not ready to come. But if you've been doing your due diligence and maybe you're just waiting for the funding, don't hesitate. Call today. Get your seat reserved. You can get the paperwork to us by Monday. Actually, it has to be here by Friday at 5 o'clock. And then if the funding is still something you need to work on that. And as long as you bring a cashier's check from your bank for the licensing fee to our workshop, you can still get in. All right. So again, let me show you our money back guarantee. I don't know of any company that does this. I'm probably nuts for offering this myself, but I happen to know that it has helped a lot of people make the decision to at least come to our 5-day training workshop. Because if at any time during the training workshop, for any reason, you don't think this business is right for you, simply tell any staff member and they'll arrange for you to receive a full refund of your license fee. That's in the agreement that you sign with us, folks. The money's put into a trust. We don't even get the money until the week after training, unless you ask for it back. How do we do that? How do we stay in business? Couldn't people take advantage of us? Look, there's no weasel words in this guarantee. Read it again. No weasel words, right? We can't weasel out of this. You get your money back if you don't think this is the right business for you. And you're the only one that can make that decision, not us. We'll part as friends. So how do we do that? Because only 3 people in 20 years have done that at the end of those workshops. So they had very personal reasons. I'm not going to go into that. But the point is 3 people out of hundreds of people that have come through our training have asked for that. So that's how we can do that. Now, I think we've used up the hour, haven't we? Yeah, we're past the hour. Okay, so one last slide here. I'll keep this up here as I say goodbye to you. This is Rhody. She's our director of licensing here at the office. She's sitting right there at her desk. This is a live shot of her. Hi, Rhody. Oh, no, it's not really. It's just a photo. But anyway, you can call her at that toll-free number at the bottom of the screen and reserve your seat right now for the class next week. If you can't make it, call your ABS rep and ask, when the next one is. We sometimes have those dates set. It depends on how many people that are, signing up for those. So just ask us and we'll tell you that date if you can't make it next week. Otherwise, I hope I see some of you sometime down the future's way at one of our workshops. If not, hey, remember we do the